With Backbreaker, what we're essentially trying to do is create the very first live-action video game sports title. We're doing this through the use of Natural Motion's Euphoria engine, which is our technology. This was a technology that you've probably seen in GTA 4 or Star Wars Force Unleashed. And what essentially is a kind of a live animation technique that enables any physical collision in our game to be completely unique, unrepeatable. We're going to really try and set up these incredible, unique moments that you'll see on your TV when you're watching sport every time you turn a game on. But really, it's something that hasn't been done in video games so far. Traditionally, games have relied on canned animation. We're going completely different direction. We want this to be live and exciting and different every time you play it. So you want to go and tell your friends about it. These incredible, unique moments that only you will see and only you'll experience. Right from day one, the most important thing for us to try and put across was this: this is really about action. Sport in its very nature is all about action. It's these exciting moments, and we felt that we wanted to move away from having like a godlike perspective over the game. We wanted to, you're not sitting up in a blimp watching the game. We wanted people to get down and dirty and right in the middle of the action on the field. So the way we wanted to do this and the way we thought we'd go about this was with this really nice third-person camera. And it's kind of something that you would see as if you've alluded to in third-person action titles that you'll played all the time on your 360 or PS3. But it really adds something to the sports game, especially football, which is all about this kind of on-the-field, real sort of excitement, violence. We really want to get you down in the middle of the action. So, for example, on a running play, the quarterback will be there in front of you. If you're the running back, you'll take the ball from the snap, the quarterback hand the ball off to you, and immediately you're down in there and you're charging through the line. And it becomes a game about instinct, and it's not about looking at different angles and trying to work everything out. You're not playing chess here. You're actually playing football. It's a real sport. We want to give you that experience. So everything that we do is basically this kind of third-person camera, no matter who you're playing on the field, be it offense or defense. If you're the quarterback, what we're doing is putting the camera right behind you and letting you literally sweep the field looking for receivers to pass to. One of the first things we wanted to put across with the game was it was very simple to pick up and play. We've used the analog stick a lot in the design. We didn't want to have a lot of controls mapped to face buttons because one of the things we wanted to do was have it accessible to anybody picking it up. We want a child to be able to pick this game up and play it. So we didn't want loads of buttons doing different things and then you pull a trigger and all those buttons suddenly do something else. We didn't want people to feel like they had to have like a degree in football video games to come up and play our game. So what we do is map as much as possible to the right stick. So your movement is all controlled with the left stick, as you'd expect. But with the right stick, you can pass. So flicking up is just simply to pass the ball. If you want to pass along, like if you want to bomb the ball down the field, flick down and up, it's just simple. You scan the field looking for receivers, again with the right stick, so just looking left and right. And it's all about trying to recreate the kind of movement of the players on the field with your movements of the stick. So juking left, juking right, moving the stick down and around to spin, all of these things. So it starts to feel really intuitive. And really that's what we're trying to do with the right stick control, as opposed to numerous face buttons. We're really excited about the customization in the game. And you can kind of tell this because all of the teams that we've actually got in the game, and we're shipping with over 60 teams now, have been hand-created by pretty much one guy in the studio, one very overworked guy who's had to create all of those logos. But we didn't want to make people at home do stuff that we weren't willing to do ourselves, so all the teams that ship with the game have been created using the in-game customization tool. And obviously, as you're saying, we don't have the NFL license with this title, but we kind of have let our imaginations run wild with us. We're not restricted by that fact. It's let us make up a mass load of teams that we're populating the game with. Also stadiums as well. We've taken a lot of care over the design of our stadiums, and a lot of time, a lot of effort has gone into the stadiums, because combined with the third-person camera that we were talking about before, this is really the first football game that actually lets you see those stadiums. So, we're not wasting loads of time and effort to give you something you're not going to see. So if you're down there behind, you're waiting for the ball, you look around and suddenly there's like 100,000 people that you can see jumping around. They're all getting excited. They're all waiting for the play to start. All the crowd actually are linked to the animation system. So anything cool that happens on the field, the crowd react to that because their animation networks are all intertwined. So you get some pretty cool effects as you're like streaking down the sideline and you see the guys on the side of the field just like jumping up and down, getting really excited about it. Basically, it's an incredibly complex system that we have. It's similar to the kind of system they have in like Forza with the customization of cars. We've basically brought that into the game and let you customize team logos. As I said, every single logo in the game has been created with that kit, and it's a system of layers and cutters, and you can have gradients on things. So basically, you can let your imagination run wild. It's only limited by your ability. Which limits me a lot. I'm not very good at making these logos, but luckily we have some really good people in the studio that have made some incredible logos. And you know, walking through the game, when you go into my teams, like my custom teams, you can actually see the logos that we've created. So you can see how we've done it. And some of those logos go up to like 400 or 500 layers that, you know, have taken a couple of days to make. But they've really become a kind of a labour of love for the people that will be making them, and they pick out the teams that they've created, and they like playing as those teams. So obviously we're kind of excited about the fact that when people get the game at home, they're going to start off by creating probably what will be some simple logos to begin with, and we let people do that. You know, if you want to create a logo that's just like a star or, you know, an eagle or something like that, we give you shapes that you can use. But once you've done that a few times, then you're going to start exploring and seeing, oh, what can I do with all these different options? So we give loads, like hundreds of cookie cutter shapes and different styles of blocking that basically enable you to create whatever you want in this game. Basically, any of your favorite teams that you have, be it a high school or pro team, you know, from anywhere in the world, if you have the ability to use that tool set, then you can create that logo as best you want. You can save that logo, you can then take that online and play your friends. So, you know, your college team, you recreate those, you save the logo, you can create a whole end zone. As soon as you go into the game and, you know, you'll be playing on the field, you'll be scoring touchdowns on that end zone that you've created. Your friends will be able to see exactly what you've done. So you can tailor the whole uniform to basically be the colours and style that you want. We're quite flexible with that. Basically any part of the uniform, be it the helmet, the torso, even down to the feet and the gloves, can be completely customised with colours. Any element of them is separately customised, so you can really build up a team that looks exactly how you want it to look. Then you take that online, you can play your friends. So any of your Xbox Live friends, your PlayStation friends, your buddies, you'll be able to see exactly what you create. We're quite excited about the multiplayer in Backbreaker, in that we think we're kind of bringing back split-screen gaming, which is something that we're very excited about. We basically split the screen in two. So for local multiplayer, you can play versus. You know, it's kind of like sofa gaming. You can sit there with your friend, you can play against each other, or you can also play co-op. Backbreaker allows you to play any position on the field whenever you want. So for one player, you can just obviously play as a quarterback, make the pass. For another player, you can switch to being a wide receiver. You can even play as a centre and just snap the ball and then just try and take someone down who's trying to get to your quarterback. You know, whatever you want to do. And you can play that in co-op with your friend as well. So you can be making long passes into the end zone, hit your buddy in full stride and score like that. Obviously, we want to go online as well, so we've got versus online as well. So you can play full exhibition mode against your friends online, against strangers online. Your friends will be able to see, as I said before, about your full customization, everything like that. We're trying to keep we're keeping people sort of secure online, and if you don't know someone online, you won't be able to see what they've created in your end zone, because sometimes you don't want to see what comes out of the warped imagination of some people. We've really tried to create something very different with Backbreaker, and I think it's a great start for looking at what sports games can be. I've been playing sports games my whole life. You know, they're consistently the games that I always buy year in, year out, whatever type of sport it is. And really, they've kind of reached a plateau where nothing radically different was happening. And I think with Backbreaker and with football, we've got an ideal partnership there. But the very nature of it, like bringing you down in, like the sort of very basic details of it, of Euphoria creating live action, combined with a camera that gets you right down into the action, is something that's not been done before, and I think it would be very exciting to see where we could go with that in the future. So Backbreaker is out on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and we're releasing at the end of May.